Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Eden Zero Chapter 92. When we last left our heroes, we had a little bit of progress on the Homura versus Sylph fight. Despite that being the title fight, it got relatively little focus. With them moving to the dance theater where they had their fight in the previous timeline. But this time Homura was able to deflect the wind snatch with a little wind ability of her own by generating wind with her swords. And then we also found out more about Drakken Joe, about Alpha Wise's past, how he lost his hand stealing money from Drakken, how Drakken is not aged, he's rumored to be over 200 years old. There's a lot of things going on there. But also, we ended the chapter with Sylph being terrified of the idea of someone being able to deflect her wind, saying that she could be absorbed by Drakken, which is a really interesting word choice. But anyway, let's jump into Chapter 92, The Sword of Edens. Our character file this week is for Homura, powers Ether Gear, the Soul Blade, she likes her mentor, dislikes anything hot. Attack and defense are both 4 stars, marksmanship 1 star. Is that a character trait I did not remember about her? I don't remember her being a bad shot. Ether Power 3 stars, Intelligence 2, and Yamato Fashion 5 stars. A swordswoman who wields a blade made of ether, she has a habit of automatically saying whatever's on her mind. She had been searching for her mentor Valkyrie, but now she has inherited her teacher's legacy and become the second Valkyrie. Alright, so we open where we left off last time with Sylph freaking out about Homura deflecting her attack. Drakken, he'll absorb me. I don't want to be absorbed. I'm scared. And Homura looks at her. Absorbed? Also, this is something this page is reminding me. It was the whole thing that Sylph never showed emotions except in her hair clip. And we see the hair clip says, emotion detected. Executing emotion suppression protocol. And there's some kind of bar filling up on the hair clip. And Homura looks at that. And she slowly calms down. The panic leaves, the sweat leaves, she's back to, half-closed eyelids, whole thing. Your wind. It must stop. Only my wind and my brother's wind are allowed. And Homura looks at her. Suddenly she has returned to normal. And that hair accessory is quite adorable. Oops, I almost put my mind again. Yeah, you shouldn't be thinking the personality drainer the hair clip is adorable, Homura. It's kind of creepy. Anyway, Sylph readies another attack. Your wind. I will stop it for you. And she sends out her wind to attack Homura again. That trick shan't work on me again. And so the two of them, their two winds are now clashing against each other. And all of the furniture in the theater kind of all gets, caught up in the fight. They're both blown back by the wind. And a table comes for Homura, but she jumps on it, and she's jumping between tables and furniture. And Sylph looks at her. Your wind. It doesn't belong here. But she's doing some kind of sword trick I think that's Sylph's winds coming for Homura. It's kind of hard to tell because wind is not exactly something easy to show, I guess. She'll trap me in her wind. And yeah, she's kind of caught up in the ball of wind that we saw her do to Rebecca way back when. I think she also did to Homura in the last timeline, if I'm remembering correctly. Wah! We see the hair clip kind of smiles. Beep up. But she's kind of pushing back against the wind walls in the prison. If this wall is made of wind, then a gust within it should reverse its flow. And she spins her sword again. Warrior Maid, dual blade imitation attack, towering crane gust! And she breaks free of it, also tearing her outfit, because, lest you forget, this is a Majima manga. And Sylph is, shocked at that, and is blown back by the towering crane gust. And Homura lands. Sylph also lands on her feet, ready to continue the fight. But she's also, again, terrified. What is with this woman? Who does she think she is? Emotion detected, beep up. And Homura replies to that. I am one of the Demon King's 4 shining stars. Valkyrie Homura. The Sword of Edens. And she runs for Sylph. Warrior Maid single sword attack. Dragon Flash. And she cuts across Sylph. Seemingly, the way this whole 2-page spread is done, this looks to be the end of the battle. That's the way the shot composition is. And Sylph falls onto the ground. And then we cut to Witch real fast. This will end it. Eden's glitter. And just then, she electrocutes the hell out of Laguna, who also falls to the ground, which means that might be the end of the Element 4 fights. Yeah, we see Daichi out, Fi out, Sylph and Laguna also out, and we see Sister Hermit and Valkyrie all standing triumphant. And Witch says, "We 4 shining stars dance to protect our family." And I guess that's it for the Element 4 fights. But now we check in with Drakken. I will have a lot more to say about the Element 4 fights as a whole, and specifically Witch Laguna when we get to the retrospective part of the chapter. But for now, let's continue. So anyway, we have Drakken. He's sitting in the like a bacta tank from Star Wars. And we see his arms. Oh, he's de-aging in there. Because we see his arm, and it's all spindly and kind of old and weak. And then he clenches his fist, and it's back to being muscular. So they got the Element 4. I'm out of time. I need to get that cat power and fast. To get my body back to his younger days. So yeah, it looks like Rebecca is seemingly right about why that Drakken's de-aging is working less and less. But he looks shocked at something. But why are they invading my ship? And no sneaking either. Barged right through the front door. They couldn't have known about the girl I'd captured. So, I guess this means that he has absolutely no knowledge of Timeline 29, which makes sense, I guess. But I don't know. For some reason, I figured he would kind of know a little bit. A little bit. But now that I think about it, that actually makes no sense. Of course he wouldn't know. But he could have, suspected maybe they had, gone through... he knows they're on Timeline 30. So he probably suspects that, part of this timeline has happened before. So the word choice of they couldn't have known. It's a statement. It's confident. He's there's no way they know about the girl. But, there's clearly a chance, because he knows about time loops and things. I don't know. Anyway. And I haven't heard from Maria. Did they see through our trap? And he looks down at a scanner. No. She used her cat powers and kept her memories. So this is her second time? Oh, he thought she's been doing it unconsciously the whole time. And he's only now realizing that it's a new... that she knows. Then it's awakened. The Cat Leaper has awakened. Now we check back in with Team Rebecca. If I'm right, and Drakken's health is reaching its limits, I'm guessing there would have to be some kind of life support machine or something somewhere. Unhappy lights up. Of course! We just have to destroy it! And Wise turns to Sabir. But where is it? I have a guess, but don't tell me you kids are planning to fight Drakken. And Shiki looks at him. Darn right we are. If we don't do something, he'll come after Rebecca again. So we're gonna beat him now. Lobelia just kind of looks at him, frowns a bit. She's thinking about something. That's crazy! I just told you, he's immortal! Yeah, that's why we're going after the life support machine. But it's not like destroying it will instantly turn him into a decrepit old man. I mean, maybe we should... And Pino speaks up. Maybe we should avoid combat and return to the ship. Forget about your stupid schemes and get out of here. Wait. Lobelia speaks. Okay. Moscow looks at her, shocked. I see now. A journey to the past to maintain his health. I'm starting to see Drakken's deal. You want to defeat him? Sounds like fun. What's up with Lobelia? Lobelia, what's gotten into you? And Rebecca, Shiki, and Wise all look shocked. Sorry, I'm not her. And we see her face is that little spiral thing of the girl from Digitalis. Alright, I'll help you out. She's fucking what's her face? The weird girl who pretended to be Homura, to get into Drakken's good graces. Actually, hold on. I'm really curious about her deal now. Which I imagine we'll get to next week. But yeah, the GIA girl. Okay, so this chapter is again once again in two parts: the Element 4 part and the post Element 4 part. Basically everything to say about the Drakken scene I've kind of already said. He's only just now realizing that Cat Leaper is awakened, and he's kind of running out of time. And then yeah, there's the GIA girl who is back, and now I don't quite know why she's like what I'm gonna hold off any discussion of that because I imagine next chapter will give us a lot more context as to what her deal is. Anyway, let's talk about the Element 4. Okay. See, Element 4 was fine, I guess. I'm just trying to find the right way to express my feelings for the Element 4 fights. And I guess they're just like there's not much impact to them. Like, there's very little about the Element 4 fights that are like, oh yeah, this is like some good shit. Like, they're a firm fine. Which, like, I kind of get. Fight scenes have never been the best parts of Mashima manga for the most part. It's generally, like, the stuff that happens around the fight scenes that kind of bolsters it up. It's why everyone gets frustrated. And back here in the Fairy Tail days, everyone would get all pissed off at how fights would end, and then they all get right back on board when the next storyline would happen. So, like, yeah, I kind of know that. Fights aren't exactly what Mashima is good at. But I don't know, it's just kind of... That's kind of my thoughts on the Element 4 fights. I still want something to happen with Laguna. They've built up Laguna so much as, like, there's something different about him compared to the Element 4. Maybe he's more willing to be on our side. Maybe he'll, like, become a recurring ally throughout the series. Kind of like what I imagine Elsie will eventually be. Like, back in Timeline 29, Rebecca was like, oh, he's the only one that actually, like, seems to care how I'm doing in my jail cell. And even, like, Witch went on about his backstory, which made it seem like he'd be more important than he is. So I hope we get to see more of him. Also, I don't think Sylph is quite done yet. Like, narratively speaking, both because Jean is still around, and there's all this content, like, stuff about, Drakken will absorb me, is the line she said earlier. So I reckon the Daichi and Fi are done. They're kind of one-note characters to begin with. There's not a whole lot of mystery going on there, or really any attention spent on them. But, like, we got a little bit of attention on Daichi's, like, BDSM gags, but that was kind of played out in his, like, sister. Fi was just kind of there. Fi was kind of like, oh, we need a fire member of the Element 4, take him. Laguna, I definitely think we'll see more of. Sylph, even if we don't see more of her later, will still definitely, like, color Jean's interactions going forward, because, like, she's his sister, and he cares about her. So yeah, that's kind of my take on the Element 4 fights, the past, like, 4 chapters or so. And then, yeah, now we have the GIA, back here to help with the fight against Drakken. So we'll see what comes of that next time. I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, look free to drop me a like or subscribe, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!